Hey everyone, we're going to do a little Q&A with a certified athletic trainer and a registered nurse.
Hi, I'm Tyler. I'm a certified athletic trainer.
Hi, I'm Sarah and I'm a registered nurse. So I got my BSN, which is Bachelor of Science in Nursing, here at Bellarmine, and then after completing my degree, I went on to take my board exam, which is called the NCLEX, and I passed that to become a registered nurse. There's a couple other options you can do to get into this field. One is an LPN. You can get an associate's degree, and you can also pass a bachelor's. You can get a master's of science in nursing, as well as a doctorate, and even go on to become a nurse practitioner. What about you, Tyler?
So I actually also have a degree from Bellarmine, but I have my master's in science and athletic training from here. And after I took that, I also had to pass my board certification, which is just our BOC exam. Outside of that, there's also people in the field who have their bachelor's degree, but as of 2015, the AT Coalition, which is our coalition of different certification boards, BOC, NATA, KD, they actually decided to get rid of the bachelor's and make it a master's only program. Outside of that, after you get certified and get your master's, you can go back and get your doctorate. And then another cool thing about the direction they're going is the NATA has recommended that interprofessional competencies and classes be added to our workforce. So things like this, where nursing and athletic training get together and learn from each other and with each other, is growing exponentially with us.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So as an athletic trainer, working in the traditional setting, which is high schools, colleges, and whatnot, working with athletes, basically every day I'm going to be dealing with athletes prior to, during, and post participation in injury, helping to prevent the injury and work on rehabilitation. And so working long hours like this and somewhat unpredictable hours like this leads to a lot of burnout in our field, which is something a lot of people don't think about. In fact, the NATA actually has a position statement on work-life balance where they point out a bunch of different things that lead to burnout in the field, such as lack of respect, lack of understanding of the job, role strain, lack of work-life balance, and such. So
Yeah, I definitely feel some of that burnout in my profession as well, working those 12-hour shifts.
And I think a lot of what leads to this burnout is, I mentioned people not understanding what we do or the education we have. So obviously we both went to school and got our degrees. Most people understand that, but people don't understand that we have the continuing education after that. So in athletic training, our board of certification, the BOC, they require us to get 50 hours of continuing education every 2 years, with 10 of those being evidence-based.
Wow.
So.
Yeah, that's awesome. Those kind of sound like the annual competencies that I have to complete at the hospital, even if it's as simple as hand hygiene, things like that. So, but yeah, as a nurse in my traditional setting, I work mainly in a hospital, and I work with patients sometimes when they're, or most of the time when they're ill, sometimes when they're healthy, pre-op, post-op, things like that. And one of the things that I feel like we might be the same is I get to work with doctors and PTs and OTs, and I'm sure you have a team physician and you have athletes that are getting rehab. And another major important thing with me as a nurse is I'm kind of a germaphobe because of the hand hygiene that is drilled into me. So yeah, the hospitals can be pretty gross, and I'm sure an athletic training room can be pretty gross, right?
Oh yeah, they can get there. In fact, the NATA, which I keep mentioning and you had mentioned, actually has another position statement on hygiene here. So they state that close quarters combined with general poor hygiene practice can lead to skin disease in athletes. And some of us are lucky and don't have to worry about that a whole lot because we have big athletic training rooms, but a lot of these high schools where people are working, they're gonna have smaller athletic training rooms where it's gonna be close quarters, and hand hygiene is especially important. So in our day-to-day work life, me being an athletic trainer and her being a nurse, we don't have a whole lot of overlap where we work directly with each other. A lot of where our overlap is going to come and where we work together is outside events. So for instance, a couple weeks ago, I was doing physicals for a couple of the high schools in the area, and there were nurse practitioners there where I would run them through and then send them to the nurse practitioner to finish up. So we would both work with the same athletes.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think it's really important that our fields collaborate together, respect each other, have a good knowledge of the other field, and also communicate. So that's really awesome. I know that Bellarmine also has this great opportunity where they partner with Go Ministries every year, and you send students down, and we send students down, and I know you guys treat them as much as you can on the field, but then if the injury is too serious or you need to refer out, then you're referring to go medical, which would be me. So it's a really
Okay.
neat opportunity that
Yeah.
the two of them get to work together down there.